Hi everyone! So if you have a capsule wardrobe or you're looking to build a more sustainable wardrobe, you've probably heard about buying quality. The phrases quality over quantity or buy less, buy better are used quite often. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why quality is important and what are some signs of good quality clothing. With the rise of fast fashion and cheaply made products, there has been an overall decline in quality. Clothing is now seen as more of a disposable product and no longer made to last like it used to be. In the book Overdressed, author Elizabeth Klein talks about how our knowledge and perception of quality has also changed. For some people, good quality now means that you can wash it more than a few times without it looking worn and falling apart. Quality clothing is important because it means that your pieces will last longer and won't need to be replaced as often. This is a lot more sustainable, and also if you have a capsule wardrobe, your pieces usually get a lot more wear, so it's important to have good quality pieces that won't wear out as quickly. So how can you tell if something is good quality? A lot of people assume that a higher price equals better quality. And while there is some correlation, for example, there's no way that a $2 t-shirt can be made from a good quality fabric, it's not necessarily true that a high price always equals high quality. When shopping for good quality garments, I think one of the most important things to assess is the fabric. Read the tag, look at the fiber content, and I'll include a link to a video I did where I talk about different kinds of materials and what the pros and cons of them are. But you want to make sure that the fibers are appropriate for the use of the garment. For example, if you're looking for a summer top, you're going to probably want something that's light and breathable, like a cotton or a linen. If the garment is really fitted, you're probably going to want to look for something that has a bit of spandex or lycra blended in so that it holds its shape over time a lot better. Also, look at the care instructions and make sure that it's something that you can and will actually do. I have another video on this topic which I'll link to below, but caring for your clothes properly can definitely improve the wear and longevity of them. Make sure that the fabric is comfortable and also look at how thin it is. As clothing has gotten cheaper and cheaper, fabrics have actually gotten thinner and thinner. Some styles require a thinner fabric, but those usually also require special care for that fabric. But in general, the thicker a fabric is, the more durable it will be. This is something I've especially noticed with jeans. I used to buy quite thin jeans and they would wear out super quickly. And ever since I switched to a much thicker raw denim, I find that my jeans, I've worn them for I guess about a year and a half now, and they're showing very little wear, whereas a lot of the other jeans I used to own would already have holes in them by now. You also want to look at how tight the weave or the knit is. Again, tighter is generally more durable, and especially with loose knits, they're much more likely to snag on things and create holes. You also want to make sure that the fabric looks straight. Unless it's a bias cut or draped style, the little threads should look vertical, not like they're twisting or on a diagonal in any way. If you've ever had a pair of pants or a top where the side seams kind of twisted towards the front, that's because that garment wasn't cut straight. You're then going to want to look at the inside of the garment. If you see crooked seams or loose threads, that's not a good sign. Also, if the stitches are really long, that likely means that it was sewn quite quickly. The longer and fewer the stitches there are, the faster it goes through the machine. The seams should also be pretty tight. If you pull on either side of the seam, it should barely come apart. In poor quality garments, you can often pull at the seam and see right through it. French seams are generally a sign of a good quality garment, and any sort of sheer fabric should technically be finished with French seams. Blind hems are another good sign. Because it's a lot more difficult to do a blind hem than just a straight stitch, they're used on generally better quality garments. It's pretty uncommon nowadays, but larger seam allowances are also a sign of a good quality garment, and they allow you to let out the clothing a little bit if you need to. And longer hem allowances as well. Since adding extra fabric onto the seams or the hem is a bit more expensive, it's not done with any sort of cheap or low quality clothing. But it's really nice for the user because it allows you to make adjustments and have your clothing better tailored to fit you. Some other signs of good quality clothing are when patterns like stripes or large plaids match up at the seams. Extra buttons or thread included. Lining in structured skirts, dresses, jackets, coats, and wool pants. The outside fabric used on any inside facings. Flat, covered zippers, unless it's a style that purposely has an exposed zipper. Hidden or invisible zippers should have a little hook on top to keep them closed. Straight and evenly spaced buttons and buttonholes with tight stitching. Pockets with the same material as the outside fabric, or at least a facing with the same material. And any top stitching that's on the garment should be straight and even. In general, more seams is a sign of better fit and better quality, and lesser quality garments will tend to have fewer seams, which means less sewing, but it does depend on the kind of garment. It's weird to say this, but you kind of get a feeling for quality, and with a bit of practice, we'll be able to tell quite quickly if something's good quality or not. If you have the chance, I highly recommend inspecting some vintage garments. They're often made quite better than garments now, and you can see examples of high quality finishings and facings, not just the quick serging that you see in most garments now. So I hope you found this helpful. It may seem like a lot to think about, but honestly, trust your gut. Feel the fabric, take a look at the inside, and you'll get a sense of whether it seems like it's something that will hold up to a lot of wear and washings, or if it seems like it's going to get worn out and fall apart pretty quickly. Also, if they're available, I really recommend reading reviews online, because then you'll be able to find out if other people had issues with the garment that you're thinking of purchasing. So please share in the comments if you have any other tips on buying good quality clothing. Also, if you're not yet subscribed and you'd like more videos on capsule wardrobes or sustainable fashion, you can hit that subscribe button up there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.